Move to our final issue for the day. The challenges facing the aviation sector in Nigeria appears to be unending. The latest is an imminent collision between the federal government and foreign airlines. The federal government has vowed to sanction international airlines operating in the country and selling tickets to Nigerians in dollars. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, told newsmen at the end of Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja that intelligence reports indicated that some of the airlines are refusing naira and charging their tickets in dollars. He said such practice is a violation of the country's laws and will not be accepted. Let's share this story with you.
I want to use this opportunity to say that some of the airlines reports are reaching us that they are refusing to sell tickets in naira. That is our violation of our laws, local laws.
Mr. Atunde.
Well, I think, you see, without necessarily justifying any reasons why the airlines are charging, you have to know that, number one, most of the airlines are maintained with foreign currency. Number two, only recently, maybe until last week, they are being owed hundreds of millions of dollars that they are supposed to repatriate to their foreign countries. So if you are being owed money, and the money, the naira you are holding in your hand, you cannot convert it to service your system, to be in business. So what they are just doing, they are just trying to be clever and trying to make sure that they stay within the system. Until last week, almost all the airlines, all of them almost folded up. Why? Because they cannot repatriate the money they are making in Nigeria. And they cannot even convert it either with the central bank or any other place. So I think the problem basically is that, yes, what we are going through in Nigeria is not synonymous with Nigeria alone. It is a global issue. But the fact remains that there has to be concerted effort on the part of government to begin. It's like asking people to come and invest in this country. And the day they land at the airport, some people steal their either luggage or some other things. The person will go back to the next flight. So the thing is that government has to put necessary measures in place to make sure that all these people, this crucial aspect of Nigerian economy, we find a way of making sure that they get the foreign money. Because whether you like it or not, it takes foreign money to maintain an airline in Nigeria. It is not local. They cannot take naira and take it to America to go and buy spare parts, to go for either e-check, either D-check, or either full check. All these checks they do, they pay the money. But at the same time, yes, you cannot excuse them to violate Nigeria's law. But they must also survive. So there has to be a meeting point. And that meeting point is that government has to have a way of ensuring that they stay in business and they remain in business. At the same time, protecting Nigerians from being at the mercy of the airlines. So the whole thing, we really have a lot of problem in our hand. But the thing is that government has to be doubly assured that, because if the airlines cannot service their aircraft, there's danger, there's insecurity in the air. Because if you cannot service as an Atuan do, if you cannot go for D-check, I know D-check, that's probably it's not done in Nigeria, it's done in the US, Britain, and you need dollars. And these people will keep on flying. At the time in Nigeria, most of the aircraft we are using in Nigeria, they are not airworthy. So I think it is a real problem, and which the minister should try as much as possible to make sure that there is a dialogue between the operators of the airline. Unfortunately, Nigeria has no national carrier.
All right, Niyi, while the federal government calls this a violation of our laws, can we totally blame these airlines?
I think, just like we said in the last thing, we said the foundation is a critical issue in this country. The question we ask ourselves is, as an OPEC country, what do we produce? Where are our refineries? Where are the resources that is well endowed here? Then the other question is, can you go and buy the ticket from BA in naira, flying down to Nigeria? Will a Briton or an American at the counter or in the bank allow you to buy the ticket from LA to Lagos
New York or
in
London.
naira? So the question we ask ourselves as citizens, how patriotic are we? The man that is collecting tickets for all those foreign airlines are not foreigners. They are your brothers, they are my brothers, they are your sisters, they are my sisters. And when we keep saying these, there is nowhere you travel out except in Nigeria that you can access foreign currency without having your international passport or your data being captured before they issue it to you. But in our own country, 5 steps away from any bank, you will see those guys in Jalabia, and what they ask you is that pounds or dollar, pounds or dollar. And all of the same.
Because of our system.
Exactly what I'm saying.
The system is encouraging
so if our system encourages the foreign airlines to insist that people must pay in foreign currency, the first thing we need to do is to first come inside and ensure that we put in a system whereby we even discourage people having to have access to this currency on the open market. That is one. 2, the International Civil Aviation Authority, Federal Civil Aviation Authority, all have rules, code of conduct on how you transact. In every economy, you don't move your entire ticket sales out of the economy. In Nigeria, is it the same case? Are the airlines asking that they want to move their profits in foreign currency, or they are saying they want to move the entire operating costs and businesses out of the country in foreign currencies? This has to be answered. And if Nigerian law forbid them to collect tickets in naira, Nigeria is a sovereign state. The sovereignty behoves on us to look at what Gazprom gas is doing to Europe. See what they did. They tell them that we are closing the gas today. If American likes, come and buy in our rubles. If you like, don't come and buy. That is your problem. That is what is called sovereignty. But sovereignty can only happen if you and I decide to observe and respect our law. And that is what has not been played out. Patriotism starts from you and I. And until that is done, the minister can say all he likes. The minister can jump on the presidential jet tomorrow, fly anywhere he likes. He's doing that stuff. I remember the last time I traveled to Abuja, and when I saw the bill, I was like, are you kidding me? So the foreign airlines need to stay by the rule, but the government has to ensure that there is a system in place that forbids these sharp practices, and the government and the governance also ensure that they are not the one. Because do we have NCAA to go and be drew ball watching, or FCC to be FCA to drew ball watching at the airport? What do they do? When people buy tickets, are you saying they don't have account of the number of passengers that are flying, or they don't have a record to know what is inflowing to those accounts? Except we get things right as a nation, as individuals, we will continue to come on here and do press briefings that are not biting. Tomorrow you will hear all of them will close. Again, don't forget, this same government had to take all of these airlines, most of them, the major ones, through AMCON. It is you and I money that has been given. The people that were originally running those businesses that collected those loans, have they been sanctioned?
All right.
And that's why I'm insisting that if we don't have the information, misinformation and whatever you call it will permeate and will create tension and fear in the system.
All right, Mr. Baton. Now, CBN has released $265 billion out of $464 million airline traps. And many are still saying this is believed to be less half of the total funds trapped in the country. What is that conversation both parties need to have?
Well, I think, like you said, every country has its own national interest. And every country has its own policy, strategic policy. For any business, any foreign business to operate in any particular country, you have to abide by the law of that country. But that particular country too has to be seen to be sincere and transparent in the way it is conducting its business. You cannot be conducting business on the table and some others under the table. So if the Nigerian government, yes, they have given them about $265 million out of 464, which means it just remains $290 million. They should be made to understand the problem Nigeria is going through. Like he said, you cannot go to US, New York, or go to London and buy in naira there. They won't accept it from you. But basically, our problem is because of our economic problem. We should ensure that security measures are put in place to make sure that we sell more oil. Because that is, if we sell more oil today, if one OPEC gave us about 2.1 million barrels per day, we can only sell 1.2 million barrels. And that is the genesis of our problem. If you cannot earn more foreign exchange, there won't be money in central bank for people to change into naira. So we are not earning more money. And the money we are earning, 92% of the money we are earning, we use it to service debt. So the problem, basically, the problem is that Nigerian government has to tell the airlines to have to understand, if we still want to continue operating Nigeria, look, none of them can afford to do away with Nigeria. Because Nigeria is a big country. Nigeria is a country of about 200 million, and we have potentialities in Africa. Lagos alone is the 4th largest economy in Africa. So Nigerian government should stand on its feet and say, we have paid you $290 million. Please accept accept that sum in the next 6 months, and they give them time, the next 6 months, 3 months. Anyway, it's not possible for you to repatriate all the money you are making. Are Nigerians repatriating all the money they are making in New York and London back to Nigeria? No. So the foreign airlines too have to understand with Nigeria. They cannot afford to. Dubai, the other time they said that they will stop flying to Nigeria. Now they have reverted that by September 14, they are coming back to Nigeria. Nobody can boycott Nigeria, but we should also show that we are serious in our policies. We should be firm about our policies with regard to foreigners coming here to do business.
All right, your final take on this?
My final take is it's on both sides. The government needs to show up our revenue base. We have to be sincere with our books. You remember the customer challenging NNPC about the amount of money spent on petroleum that we are using. You also recollect that the Minister of Petroleum told us that today a cost of petrol per litre will have been 462 naira per litre, and which shows that the government is subsidizing, well, we don't know how much. And when they are importing those fuel, it is not in naira and kobo. It's also in foreign currency, either with product substitution or with direct buy from the refining. Until we reduce our consumption-based economy to more of a production economy, and we depend less on foreign consumption, we'll find that that's in this situation. And again, individuals forms government. Bureaucrats that are working in government agencies should, for at least for once, try and be patriotic. When you say they are stealing, they are doing this, it is not the president that will steal the money by himself or the minister. The bureaucrats are the one that will do. Look at what happened to the serving Accountant General of the system, almost billions of naira. So is that a minister? Is it not a professional? Is it not chartered? So until people begin to be patriotic and be sincere in their conduct, airlines will continue to take us for fool. And we don't have a choice rather than either we stay indoor, we do a protectionist economy, or we decide to be dealing and looking for dollars to fly aircraft around
All
the
right.
world.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nia Kiwale, and thank you, Mr. Tunde Abato, for coming on the program. And that's all we have on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.